Thank you very much. Buenos días. Buenos días. Thank you. Cece, thank you very much. The mic is still hot from Cristina. I had to be careful. Cece, thank you for all you do, for being a voice for the Latino community. Can we hear it for Cece as well, for all she does? Cecilia Valencia. To Roger Rocha, your president, to one of my dear friends, Brent Wilkes, who has been the muscle and mind behind so much of what LULAC has done over the years as the executive director, Lourdes Galvan, who is the national vice president for women at LULAC. I say thank you for bringing together so many people and not letting people go to the beach on such a wonderful Saturday morning. And wasn't Governor Garcia great? Yeah. Jeez. I got to get her autograph before she leaves. Is Javier Angulo, he's still here? He's not. Se le olvidó persinarse antes de que entró aquí a hablar de la bendición, ¿verdad? Bendito estaba entre todas las mujeres aquí. Pero no se persinó. My mom would have killed him. So let me do this, because I know you have a great program and activities to come. And so many people have spoken so well about, I think, what drives so many of us. Oftentimes we've heard it described as the American dream. And we've all had our sueños. My mom also had her sueños. When she came to this country from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, when she was 18, she came with a man who had a 6th grade education. My father worked very hard. My mother learned English very quickly. And she soon found herself incorporated into the life of this country, working very hard. But my father a man who could only walk through certain restaurants, because there were some restaurants as he was growing up that said no dogs or Mexicans allowed. And my mom, who, because she was a woman, when she got educated in Mexico, got to about the equivalent of what would be considered a technical, vocational high school degree. But they quickly incorporated themselves, right? How many of you are the children of immigrants? How many of you are immigrants? How many of you can trace your immigrant ancestry back to, say, 2 or 3 generations? And that's probably going to be almost everyone. If you're an immigrant, a child of an immigrant, grandchild or great-grandchild, most of us can trace back our roots. There are some, anybody from New Mexico? Yeah, okay, so we got 8th generation probably right there, American, because a lot of the New Mexicans are very proud of the fact that they can trace their history before the folks came to Jamestown, and I think it's great. But my mom understood some things. You need to know numbers, and you need to know words. She quickly learned the words in English, and she had learned the numbers. And so she quickly got work in clerical offices, doing clerical work. But she always said to us, I'm going to live my dreams through you. And for me it was, and I was one of 4, I was the boy, yes, a chiquiado, but for sure. Yeah. Tú vas a ser doctor. Tú vas a ser doctor. They even used to buy me a doctor shirt. It's that white shirt that buttoned over here with a little collar, and tú vas a ser doctor. I'm the first in my family to have that chance to get that university degree. But here's the bad news. I became a lawyer, and here's the good news. I married a doctor, and so. And so even though we fall, we get back up. We learn our lessons. And even though some of us don't get to dream all the way through to reality, if we work hard, our children will. And I guarantee you, Cristina Garcia, the mother, is living a dream through Cristina Garcia, the daughter and future governor of the state of California. Amen. 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 But this is the odd thing. There was an article in yesterday's LA Times in the sports section, so maybe not everybody saw it. It had to do with the women's soccer team, the U.S. soccer team. 3 World Cups, 4 U.S. gold medals. They make a third of what the U.S. men's soccer team makes. They bring in all the dough, but the men are the one that collect it. And so we got work to do. We got work to do. We have a saying in the House of Representatives of Democrats with our great leader, Nancy Pelosi. When women succeed, America succeeds. When women succeed, America succeeds. As the son of one of those great women, I modify it a bit. When Latinas succeed, our children succeed. And my 3 sisters and I are perfect proof of that. When Latinas succeed, our children succeed. The reality is, though, when Latinas succeed, America really does succeed, because the fastest population of entrepreneurs in this country, as you know, are Latinas. No cohort of Americans is creating more new businesses in America than Latinas. But of the 9 CEOs in the Fortune 500 companies who are Latino, 0 are women. You would think all these major companies would get it. They would recognize that the power is in people like Cristina Garcia and like people like my mother, in the women in this room, and change. But they don't. And that's why the soccer team that gets 4 gold medals and 3 World Cup trophies is still paid about a third of what the men do. By the way, the men didn't qualify for the U.S. Olympics team. And so, just so you see. But let me tell you what I think is more important. And Cristina said it well, and I know we all know this. The dream is a little different I believe, for many of us as Latinos. Because the dream has been so hard to come by. When that man could not walk through the doors of a restaurant to eat a meal simply because he was Mexican, born in the U.S., a U.S. citizen, the day he got to walk through the doors of the White House with his son to meet the President of the United States, that was a dream. That was a dream. And so the dream for us is a little different. It's spiced a little different for us. We understand this a little bit better. And there's no one who gets it more than the real dreamers. The people we call dreamers with a capital D. Because these are the folks who have, by law, no right to be in this country. By spirit, they have every right to be the next leaders of this country. They are dreamers beyond the American dream. They don't just dream, they do. And that is where I believe, for Latinos, dreamers means something very, very different. It has to mean doers. We can't just constantly close our eyes and hope. We have to open them and recognize that it's our turn to walk through those doors. And that's where the dreamers of America, all those young men and women who decided to go out into public and say, that's right, I don't have documents to be in this country, but I'm showing you what I'm going to do to prove that I deserve to be every bit as much American as you do. And they are the dreamers who are going to give us the ability to really achieve. So whether it's succeeding in getting the minimum wage in California lifted to $15 an hour, whether it's making sure that we guarantee that any worker in America will have a right to take paid sick leave, or whether it's we make sure that every woman in America makes the same amount of money that a man does doing the same work, because it's not 79 cents for every dollar that a man makes. Not in this room, because if you're Latina, the chances are it's 55 cents to every dollar that a man makes. We got work to do. And so here's what I tell you. It's what I learned to tell my daughters, and it's what I tell every parent I have a chance to speak to at our schools here in Los Angeles. Every time you say, ay, mijo, o mija, te quiero tanto, when they're very first born and you're looking at them and you just love them and cuddle them, qué orgullo tenerte aquí conmigo, y te quiero tanto. don't forget to add, y tú vas a ir a la universidad. And then when they turn 1 and they take those first steps, ay, no te caigas, tú te caigas. Ay, qué bien hiciste, mija. Y tú vas a ir a la universidad. And then that first day in kindergarten, when they leave crying, but when you pick them up there, they don't want to leave because they're all happy because they made all these friends. ¿Qué tal, mijo? ¿Te gustó, verdad? Y tú vas a ir a la universidad. And then graduation comes. And then they look at you and they say, Mami, papi, ahora sí, yo voy a ir a la universidad. That's what counts. And that's for us. I got to say that to my parents. And I tell you with a great deal of pride. Last week I got word that my oldest, Clarissa, who some of you know because I send out a holiday card pretty much every year, she got accepted to Columbia Law School last week after graduating from Stanford University. I know she made the mistake. She's going to become a lawyer. Forgive her. But don't worry. She married a medical student, so she's on her way. She's on her way. My middle one is a junior at Stanford University studying material sciences. That means chemistry and engineering together. And my youngest, who is graduating from high school this year, got word earlier this year that she got accepted to Yale University. And so I want to brag to you because it's going to cost me a lot of money. But I'm married to a doctor. But my parents couldn't pay for my Stanford University education. It was time, as Christina said, for me to pay back. I pay full freight for my 3 daughters. I am proud of it because I can do it. My parents could have never sent me to Stanford University with the wages they had. But I'm there, and I'm paying my country back. I am not just going to close my eyes and dream. I'm going to open them wide. I still have some time to do some big dreams for this country, working with you if we act. And guess what? Because I said to those 3 little girls, te quiero tanto, mija, y tú vas a ir a la universidad. We're going to do this. Do not stop. Dream big. Let's do this. Y no se los olvide. Vamos a ir a la universidad. Thank you very much.